Hi, welcome to Inside the Moms Club, where being a mom is the coolest place to be. Here in the Moms Club, we believe that what embarrasses you now will make a great story later. And let's face it, you don't laugh sometimes, you're gonna cry. Join us in having a good laugh together. I'm Monica Samuels. You are now inside the Moms Club, your private destination for all things mom. Welcome, moms. Welcome to Inside the Moms Club. I am your host, Monica Samuels, and I am here with my beautiful co-host, Julie Orchid. Welcome, Julie. Oh my gosh, Julie.
Hi, Monica.
You look amazing. Or as we say, l'amazing. I mean, my gosh, you look 20 years younger.
It's CVS Skincare.
Wow. Well, I am so impressed. You know what I thought it was? I thought it was that new calm that we use. NUCALM. It's a great product, that app that we use to sleep better. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so you put that Moms Club code in the code at checkout and got 15%.
And I used New Calm, and now I look 20 years younger.
You look fabulous. Now I'm kind of embarrassed, and I feel kind of old. My gosh.
No.
You know what? You're not Julie, right? You're not Julie.
No.
You just look like Julie because you're Julie's daughter, Georgia, right?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, yay. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for coming today and helping us out here. So where's your lovely mother? Because she was here yesterday. So what's she doing?
My mom went back to Texas.
She did. Okay,
yes.
Yeah, because your sister's graduating from high school, right?
Yes, she is.
Well, that is exciting. So she's very busy. And you're very busy, right?
Yes.
You're here living in LA.
I'm adulting.
You're adulting. How's that going?
It's going well. I really love living here.
Looks good on
in
you.
January.
You do? Okay. Well, good.
Thank you. I love the sun, so that's been really great.
I love the sun too. I wish it was out here. Since we've been in LA. I brought the clouds and the rain, I guess. But
I know it's looking a little more like Seattle. Recent days.
Yeah, but it's still fun. Well, I'm so glad. I'm thrilled that you could join us and sub in today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this is going to be fun because we are going to have a fun show today. And you know why? Because it's super fun. I mean, I love this. I love what we're talking about today because I love caramel. So let me ask you a question. What if something as simple as a piece of caramel could shift your whole mood or even your whole day? Can you imagine that?
I personally would like to.
Well, okay.
I think we know someone who
Let's
can.
go for it. Yes, because today's guest believes that it can. She's a former Hollywood executive, and she turned entrepreneur, founder of GoodKarmal. She's the mom of 2 daughters, and her company is based in Bozeman, Montana. Please welcome Patty West. Welcome to the Moms Club, Patty.
Thanks for having me.
I love this. This is so, I mean, it's just, as we say here in the Moms Club, this is l'amazing, the whole story. So can you take us through from your concept to the kitchen? How did GoodKarmal start? Tell us the story.
Okay, it's a little long. I'll try to shorten it as much as I can. I was dating this really outdoorsy guy, and he got me into hiking, and he brought a Ziploc bag of caramel that his boss had made. And I thought, wait, you can just make caramel on this stove? I mean, I wasn't a cook or a chef or anything like that, but I thought that sounds kind of cool. I think I want to do it. So I played around, and I got my mom's old cookbooks like Betty Crocker and Good Housekeeping, and I tried a bunch of different recipes. And I came up with some caramel that I loved. And I thought this would make a really cool Christmas gift for all the people I work with, friends and family. And then I got to thinking, what if I tried to make it more meaningful? How could I add some meaning into it? And I decided to go to my collection of inspirational quotes. I always was collecting quotes and writing them down on everything. And I had a friend help me figure out how to create a logo. And it was a little Buddha. And I wrapped each caramel with quotes and got some packaging and gave it to friends. And literally the next day, everyone's like, you need to quit your job at Warner Brothers and start this business. This is a product.
Wow. You know, I always think things happen this was meant to be because you
Right.
picked caramel. Like if you had chosen chocolate, it wouldn't have worked together. You know, like because it's karma with an L at the end, and then you're bringing in good karma in with as part of your product. You're
Right.
providing.
Right. And my brother's really punny. He's a bit of a wordster, jokester, and I was talking about bringing some caramel to go visit my Nana. And he's like, that'd be good caramel. And I'm like, oh.
There you go.
So like, that's it. Like all these little pieces just were sort of floating around in my head. And it just all really came together. It was a total like Oprah aha moment.
Well, and speaking of Oprah, so you were discovered by, and you know what, some of our other guests we've had on the show, including one I'll mention a little bit later, they started by Oprah discovering their product. So that's what happened with GoodKarmal, as I understand. So you were part of Oprah's favorite things. How did that happen?
Yeah. So while I was still working in Hollywood at my regular job, I was, starting to create the business at night. And a friend of mine had given a sample to another person who worked on a blog called Daily Candy. And we got in that blog. And like as soon as they said, you're going to be in this blog. So I built a website really fast. And someone from Harpo Films, Oprah's film production company, saw that blog and bought some and sent it to Chicago for them to try it out. So it really just happened really organically.
Wow. So this is the second story where something like that has happened. I don't know that we're going to suggest to all the moms out there that start making things and sending it over to Harpo or to Oprah, and you're going to be in the favorite things. But that is a very cool story.
Yeah,
so,
we were way too small to handle that level of exposure 6 months in.
I can imagine.
We had to shut down. The show aired like November 25th. It was her holiday things. And the next morning, we had to shut down our website for the rest of the year and just frantically try to fulfill all those orders.
Yeah. Well, that's a good problem to have, I guess. It could be. Yeah. No, that is great. So So tell us a little about your career in Hollywood. So what did you? I want to call it give up because you're into something really amazing. But what were you doing before you were doing this?
Yeah, I was a publicist for television shows. So not specifically the actors, but the entire show. So I worked with like 20th Century Fox, worked on the studio side. They would hire us. And then ultimately I ended up working at Warner Brothers TV network, the WB. Mm-hmm. So we would handle publicity for all the shows. As they would launch, we would get talk shows for the actors. We would, book the actors on talk shows or, pitch a magazine feature, and we would handle all of that. So it was a lot of travel, very glamorous. I worked with some wonderful, wonderful people like Sarah Michelle Gellar on Buffy and Carrie Russell on Felicity, Christine Baranski on Sybil, just really iconic women. It was a great, great job.
Mm-hmm. So what did it feel like? What prompted you then to make this change? Because when you have a successful career like that, I mean, I imagine if I shared that career story with a lot of people, they'd be like, well, she stayed in it. Of course, that's glamorous and wonderful. What was in you that you decided, you know what, I think I'm going to make this kind of risky at times? I mean, because being an entrepreneur is a risky endeavor. What made you make that decision?
When I went to college, I did an undergraduate business program at the University of Virginia. And so I knew a little bit about all of it. I did marketing, IT, accounting, finance. I felt like I had more to give than what I was doing in my job. I had more that I wanted to do. It just seemed like I had more creativity and more ideas than what was being captured in that job.
And so now did you immediately, you're in Montana now. So
yeah.
When did that happen? Because the company's based there, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, after Oprah, I mean, we, slept for like a week after that rush. And then I hired someone. So I'm like, find me someone who can manufacture this for us. I'll go anywhere. I didn't have kids. I just had a boyfriend. We weren't even married yet. And she brought us this article of a woman in Bozeman, Montana, who had started a caramel company. She'd bought all this equipment, didn't have a ton of sales. I had a ton of sales, no equipment. So she took us on. So they manufacture, our caramel for us along with theirs as well. And so we moved to Bozeman, Montana for that partnership. We're two separate companies, but it's been amazing.
Oh, that's great. Well, Montana's beautiful. But when I think of Bozeman, I always think of that Big Bang Theory episode where Sheldon's trying to get away from Pasadena to go somewhere safe, and he ends up in Bozeman. And so, I've never been there, but I mean, I know that Montana's gorgeous. Well, that had to be quite a change from Los Angeles to go to Bozeman, Montana. What was that like?
It was a really big change. Bozeman's nice in that it's a university town, so there are people from everywhere.
Oh yeah.
There are a lot of urban transplants who have ended up here. But I mean, there's snow. I'm looking out my window. It snowed yesterday.
Wow. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, it's a little chilly here. You're not missing the warm weather's not here today.
It's a little colder in Montana.
But what's been neat, when I moved here, I wasn't thinking about family. And it's been an amazing place to raise kids. My girls are super outdoorsy and really grounded, and it's been a great experience.
So do your daughters, I know in some of the mompreneurs sort of things that we talk about on the show, they include their kids. I mean, sometimes right down to, packaging the item and shipping it. And like, how have you integrated your kids? Are they involved in it, or how does that work?
They're both super busy with their own things, but certainly around Christmas time, I rope them in, and that's exactly what they're doing. They are packaging, they are shipping, absolutely.
I feel like this would be a very fun, well, first of all, I think it's great. When I started to do this, get ready for this interview, I thought, well, there's that old tomato versus tomato thing. Like people say caramel or caramel, but in your case, you would have to say caramel every time because there's no correct way.
I'm not consistent. It's true. I do say caramel.
Oh, really? Okay.
I say both.
Well, it works for this for sure, but to me, you have it seems like a fun thing. If I had a product like this, then to be able to come up with inspirational quotes or fun, how do you do that? And that has to be fun. How do you choose what is going to go in the product as far as the quotes? Because that's a big part of what you're selling.
It is. And there are a lot of fake quotes out there. We'll find a quote that's amazing and you look it up and it's like, this person never said this quote. But my criteria is it has to be positive and about either being good to yourself, being good to others, being good to the earth. Mm-hmm. So that's really that's how I try to live my life.
And you're also really into sustainability. I mean, your company is trying to be positive all the way around in terms of how you conduct the company.
Yeah. I mean, it's called GoodKarmal, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we aren't, what are we doing?
Well, that's true. If you were polluting everywhere, that would probably be bad caramel. So, yeah. No, I think that's great. Well, we actually have some samples here that you were kind enough to provide. And I mean, they've got I'm going to keep this one because everyone knows I'm the best dog mom ever. So I cannot wait to read what is in here. Oh, and it's also gluten-free. And so that's great. So even my son, who's gluten intolerant, can best cat mom.
That's me. I'm the best cat mom.
You are? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, cats kind of take care of themselves though, don't they? I mean, or I don't know. I always felt like a cat.
No, they need a mom.
Everybody needs a mom. That's true.
They make their emotions heard.
Oh, okay.
They feel things pretty deeply.
They do. They're very opinionated.
Now, your mom is a badass mama, so that's pretty perfect for her.
But Monica, I think you need this one.
This one is, you are brilliant and kind and super hot. So
no, that does not say super hot.
I said, stupid hot.
It says stupid hot.
I can't read. That's my problem. Oh, yes. Stupid hot. Well, that works too.
She's illiterate and stupid hot.
Yeah, I'm dumb. That just makes me stupid, right? I can't read.
I'm stupid hot.
I'm stupid hot and stupid. No, that would not be good caramel to tell me I'm stupid. So, I mean,
okay. Well, I want good caramel.
Stupid hot. I mean that I'm whatever.
You're super hot, Monica.
This is super cool. I love this, and I'm sure it's delicious too. So, does it come in? I see sea salt caramel. Does it come in different flavors of caramel, or?
Yeah, we do vanilla, sea salt, and chocolate sea salt in all of the boxes.
Oh,
what's your favorite?
Sea salt.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I think that would be mine too.
Whenever I'm walking through the office and I think I better do a quick quality check, I'm always grabbing the sea salt.
I think that sounds like perfect plan.
No, I think I'd have a serious problem working in like a sweet business like that, because I would want to be quality testing a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. I'm working in retail right now, and I can barely get through the day without buying something. So this would be a big challenge.
Yeah, this would be super tempting for me, that's for sure, because I love caramel. So
when we hire, like, that's one of the biggest perks is literally all the caramel you can eat. Like, take it home. We have a ton of scraps or like misshapen ones, and people are just like leaving home with like huge bags.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
I have a friend who works at a gym and complains about not being able to have a gym membership at the gym they work at. I'm going to tell them to quit and work for GoodKarmal, because then they won't have to worry about the gym. They can just eat caramel.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. Well, they need to,
and she can move them Bozeman.
Move them up to Bozeman. Yeah, I think they would love it. It's gorgeous up there, from what I understand. So, what is your favorite quote? Like, what inspires you? What quote would you want in your box of caramels?
I have a few. The one that I love is "Help your brother's boat across, and your own will reach the shore."
That's nice.
Like a Hindu proverb, but you know. When you help someone out, you're not inconveniencing yourself. You're actually getting yourself something too. Yeah. You know? Plato, there's a Plato quote that I like. It's be kind for I think it's everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. So I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but you know, every single person you encounter has such a backstory that you don't know.
Right. Yeah.
And I think another one that I really like is if you're facing in the right direction, all we have to do is keep walking.
Ah, yeah.
Right? Like if your intention is pointed right, each day you're moving it forward.
Right.
Yeah, I love the positivity of it. Now, for our moms out there who are trying to start their own businesses, business is business sometimes. Do you ever find there's a tension between the business side of it and your desire to keep it positive and sweet and great? I mean, do you feel any of that? How do you deal with that? How do you handle that part of it?
I say no to a lot of things. Like, there's so much that would have grown our business that I just declined throughout the years. You know, I shut down for 3 months each time I had a baby, just shut it down.
Oh, wow.
And came back and hoped that customers came back. We chose we don't sell to stores. You can only buy it on our website, which, you know, we could be much, much bigger, but less profitable and less time with my babies.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, I've held it back a ton.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
That's really admirable.
Yeah.
I think people get lost in their...
pick them up from school and go to the plays. I got to do all this stuff while also having this great business.
That is great.
They appreciate that more than you know, also. Having a parent that's there to go to those events is...
Well, that is true. That's why I retired from law there for a while, so I could spend time with my kids so that I could become the team mom of my son's baseball team and then become a little much for that. But I was there for him. Hope you knew that. No, that's really cool. Do you do that with all your employees too? Like, do they have a pretty generous, liberal policy as far as, like, if they have a baby or how does that work?
I mean, I'm not a huge company, so I can't provide all those huge benefits that large companies do. But we say that, you know, we want your job to fit your lifestyle. So we work as much as we can. If you want to work from 6 a.m. to noon, great. If you want to work from noon to 6, great. You know, we want to try and make it work. And yes, we have a lot of people who have to leave for kid stuff, and I'm thumbs up on that, big time.
Well, you know, it's interesting. You said, you know, you could be a lot bigger, and if you were the mindset, you know, I'm going to grow and be this amazing, you know, I'm going to be bought by private equity or what, you could do that, but you're super successful with keeping it within your own values. I mean, like, you've been on the Today Show, you've been featured in Forbes, you're everywhere. And yet you've stayed true to your mission and your values, and you're being rewarded for that if, you know, that kind of attention is like the reward. But I think that's a lesson for all those moms out there who want to start their own company. You don't have to, you know, stick to your values, what you're trying to do, and you'll be rewarded in so many ways, not just financially.
Right.
So that's so cool about what you're doing. Well, what's the next step for GoodKarmal? Anything in the future here that you've got planned that we'd love to know about?
Great question. No, we just keep growing every year, and all those boxes you showed. That's what we're really enjoying, is all those different designs, seeing why people are ordering and what they're sending, what their gift messages are, and then creating new boxes based on, what people are looking for. It's been really fun. Yeah,
because didn't you start out where people were like, do people, like if I said I want to send something to all of my Zoomer moms out there who've been so wonderful to us and been a big part of the show, do I give you suggestions for, hey, I want you to send this message, or is that how you can custom order?
Right. Like half of our business is custom orders. So we work with brands like Nike and Microsoft and Aveda and, huge, great brands, and they'll create their own box label, or we'll create it with them. And then they can pick, where we have quotes wrapped around the caramels, they can put corporate messaging, like Amex puts their brand message. But like right now we're printing something today for a funeral, for a service. We've got the photo of the person, and people will put quotes from their loved one who has passed, like funny quotes. Like people make it so creative. It's so fun to see what people do.
Oh, wow.
I feel like there's so much opportunity in making custom orders, and I think it's really cool that you guys are able to do that. It's a way to expand the good karma.
Exactly.
Karma.
Well, I love that. Well, and you know me, I'm such a shopper. You're probably going to hear a lot from me, actually, because now I'm going to custom order everything. All my friends are going to, like the Moms Club, our own little group of friends.
Absolutely.
Don't tell your mom. But yeah, I can do a custom order to the friends. We call ourselves the Disney moms. It's kind of a long story, but yeah, all the
you
Disney
would want
moms
a little
are going
Mickey
to
Mouse imprint on it or something.
Something like that. That'd be fun. Or
do you do weddings?
Oh, weddings.
Yeah, we do a ton of weddings.
Great.
We have a mom who just ordered some boxes for her daughter. Celebration just graduated from med school. And on the wrappers, instead of where we put, good karma, she put it's doctor, actually.
I love it.
That is cute. Well, I noticed how you asked that question, Georgia. You do weddings? Great. Do you have anything to tell your mother?
No.
She's got a very serious boyfriend, by the way.
I'm going to my cousin's wedding this year.
I thought we could make an announcement here on the Moms Club while your mom wasn't here.
Oh my God, she'd kill me if I made that announcement without her.
That's true. But
that's the number one problem.
But I tell you what, if that happens, then I think
I'm getting myself some good custom caramel.
You should.
I think that I love that you've made this, because something about, witty jokes that women make to each other, and like it's doctor actually, like that kind of stuff, that you're combining it with a sweet, it makes for a really unique experience. And I just think that's so cool that you can share that. I think it's a feminist humor, some of it.
Yeah. What's the most interesting request you've ever got? When you're like, wow, where did that one come from? But that's kind of interesting.
I think the best one was honestly for a celebration of life, where they put the funniest things, like the funny things this man has said in his life, and they were racy. Like they were pretty.
Oh, uh-huh.
It was really funny. I pictured all the family members opening these and cracking up.
That's good. Yeah, that is, because that is a very positive thing in a very kind of stressful situation. I'm going to make a note of that too, because my husband, he already wrote his entire, we went to the computer one day, my kids went to the printer, and they looked on it, and my husband had written his own funeral out, because I guess he doesn't trust us to do a really good job with it. So we're just going to surprise.
Smart man.
Yeah, we're going to surprise him
with caramel.
With caramel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to add. Don't tell him we're going to do that. I think that would be very cool. Well, this is so interesting, and I can already promise you, whatever happens with the rest of the show, I promise you've got a really good customer. That would be me. You're going to be very happy that you were on this show, because I order lots of stuff. But we have some other women who also are interested, and those are our Zoomer moms. Welcome, Zoomer moms. Welcome to the Moms Club. Well, this is so much fun, and I have to say to all you Zoomer moms, the ones that are here, we're so thrilled that you're here, and I just want to share with our moms out there, if you have friends or you want to be a Zoomer mom, you just have to get in touch with us, and you can also be a Zoomer mom on the show. Very rewarding, as you will find out. So let's welcome our Zoomer moms first. Shannon, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Shannon Summers. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I've got 2 boys, one in college and one about to be in college this fall. So soon to be an empty nester. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that yet, but day by day, I'll take it. And I'm a fractional CMO right here in Dallas. So, and Patty, I love that you've talked about GoodKarmal, because I have to say I've been a customer. I've ordered in bulk for clients before and know how, 1, delicious they are, and 2, what a big hit they were with my clients. So it's been really fun to learn about your business. And I had a question for you. As I've been building my own fractional business, one of the things that is challenging is kind of juggling time and knowing where should you spend your time to get the biggest output for your business. So I'd love to know your thoughts on kind of, I guess it's the juggling it all question.
That's a great question. Well, I'm so psyched to hear you're a customer. That's so cool. I'm in the same boat, by the way, one in college, one about to go to college.
Oh, it's terrifying, isn't it?
Awful. Yes. I'm taking a watercolor class. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to fill all of it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That to-do list is so serious, right? Trying to figure out what to do, because there is an never-ending, really important things to do. Definitely, I delegate as much as I can. I work with my husband, my brother, and a lot of great staff members. So I'm always looking for something that they could grow with. Like if there's a problem that they could solve and also learn a new skill so that the next time that problem came up, they could do it. I'm always looking for that. I try to really spend my time on things that require me. I am the only one who could do this. And that, of course, requires some humility so that I don't think that all of it requires me. That's really hard. And yeah, anything that is super impactful, I try, even though those are the hardest things, and so I want to procrastinate them, I try to really tackle them. Anything with a huge deadline, am I about to miss a deal because I've waited too long? So time sensitive and impactful, where like this is going to move my business forward if I tackle this. Those are the things I really try to focus on, but you can't do all of that every day. So then I also try to give myself little wins. Okay, I can move this forward and it'll be really easy and I'll feel great about myself.
That's great.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Brittany, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. My name is Brittany Washington, and just like Shannon, I am here from Dallas, Texas, a transplant though, all the way from San Diego, California. So yes, a little bit of Cali in me. But yes, nice to meet you, Patty. I have not tried GoodKarmal, but I'm going to soon. But yes, I'm actually in marketing just like Shannon. And one thing, I'm actually in PR and marketing. And I have clients who are mothers, and I do marketing, and a lot of them are mothers, and they do juggle a lot in between trying to balance that lifestyle in PR and living that lifestyle. And I have a question for you when it comes to being in the public eye in trying to be a mother and the things that they are trying to articulate. How do you try to balance, I want to say, being in social media and living the lifestyle of trying to just be you, and using, what's that word we try to say in social media, balancing, just living that, just trying to be you. What's that word we use, Shannon, in social media? Living the
Authenticity.
Authenticity lifestyle. Thank you. The authenticity lifestyle. Because a lot of them try to ask me how to be living that authenticity lifestyle, but being a mom, but trying not to use vulgar lifestyle, vulgar words, but trying to be a mom too. How do you balance that lifestyle?
Well,
Good question.
I'm pretty vulgar. Yeah. I think about the people on social media that I really connect with.
Yeah.
Are so flawed and raw and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think trying to be perfect in any aspect, and I speak from experience, is painful and doesn't move anything forward. You're stuck. You can't move if you're going to be perfect. So I think I would advise clients to really find your vulnerability and share it.
I think it's the imposter syndrome too, is also too where I was trying to get at. That imposter syndrome, trying to be someone else, but also to trying to balance that lifestyle of being a mom.
Yeah, I mean, man, my kids are 17 and 19, so I'm over a lot of hurdles, and I really thought I was doing all the things I was supposed to do, and I was doing everything right. And I look back now and I'm like, man, we should have had a lot more fun, and I should have worried less about the schedules and the carpools and what are they wearing and what is their hair like. And if I had had a influencer helping me see that earlier, I think that would have been amazing. I mean, that's what I would look for, is yes, we're all imposters.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you so much.
That was a great question, because there's also, I guess, a challenge of your company is all about positivity and good karma, but if everybody saw you that oh, well, she's really not, do you feel like you said you're a little vulgar? I mean, do you feel like sometimes you have to project some kind of image of good karma or good karma?
I really let the product lead for itself. I am not out here, unlike today, I am not usually out here as a spokesperson. It's not my comfort zone. I am doing this just for a friend. She pushed me to do it, and I'm thrilled that I'm doing it. But no, I feel like I am pretty anonymous mostly in my life.
Well, we're thrilled that you were able to do it too, and yet I've seen you on the Today Show, so you've been a good spokesman for it. You are a good spokesman for it.
Thank you.
And I just also want to comment, just personally, it's not often that we have a lot of Zoomers from Dallas, and I'm from Dallas, so good job, ladies. I'm so thrilled that you're here. Yeah, because I'm actually from Plano, but when you're from Plano, you say you're from Dallas. That's kind of how it works there. Kim, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us your name, where you're from, and do you have a question?
Yeah, so my name's Kim. This is Lila. I used to live in LA, and I moved to Trinidad, California. It's population 311 people in Northern California. So yes, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I'm very inspired by what you were saying, just as a mom that's also trying to start a business, and just so that I can be with my kids more. So I guess my question would be, what point in your children's life did you start the business? And how have you created those partnerships with big brands?
Good question.
Yeah, so I started it before I was married and before I had kids. So I had all those late night hours. I was free I burnt every midnight oil I could. It was crazy. And once the babies came, I slowed down for sure and got help. And so, yeah, I understand the brain drain and the energy drain when you have little ones. It's really hard to get something off the ground. You definitely want to go easy on yourself. And the partnership with the brands came, I would say, from the great press that we got when we started out. So they would see us, in Style magazine, and then they would reach out to us. But we also do a lot of work on LinkedIn, trying to get out to other people in companies. Just a lot of posting, a lot of sharing of successes and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Good networking.
Yeah, for sure.
It just dawned on me, like how you started. So you got a recipe. And I asked you this question because I'm the world's worst cook. I mean, if I'd gotten that recipe and mixed it, nobody would be buying caramel from me. I guarantee you. But you're saying you're not, how did you do that? You just, by luck, it turned out great and that was how it worked, or what did you do?
Kind of. I mean, I was not a cook. I was a latchkey kid. I never saw my mom cooking a meal. She'll kill me for that, but it's true.
Yeah.
And, but to me, when I read that caramel recipe, it almost felt more like a chemistry lab versus you'll know when the brisket's done. I can't tell when meat is done. I don't know.
Yeah.
This had a thermometer. This was math. And I felt like, okay, I can do that. I can do math and chemistry. So, yeah. So for me, somehow that felt totally doable when, cooking doesn't feel doable. I lucked out that my very first batch was amazing. Because if that first batch had been a dud, which sometimes caramel it's a tricky thing to cook. If that had been a dud, none of this would have happened. But I thought, well, gosh, I can do this. And this is great. And I'm going to tweak this a little bit. And I'm going to use white sugar instead of brown sugar. And I played around with it like a chemistry lab. And it was really fun.
That is very cool. That's why this is all serendipity. I mean, look how this all came together. It's very cool.
Yeah. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't doubt it at all.
I was going to ask you, I think, as a young person who may still want to start a business one day, what advice would you give young women who want to start a business, women that are the same age as your daughters?
Good question.
I'd be open to the signs, right? Imagine if I had ignored all the things that were getting put in place for me. Follow your passions. Don't try to create something just to create something. Definitely create something you love, that your friends love, that someone wants to buy. You want to follow your joy, follow your passion, and keep your eyes and heart open to what's coming to you.
Do either of your daughters have any interest in continuing with this, or do they have other passions that they're following, or would you encourage them to be part of your business? I
want them to live their life. This was mine. It'd be neat if one of them said, this is the coolest thing ever. I want to do it. But no, one wants to be a doctor, one wants to be a writer. And that's amazing. I'm so excited for them. But this is a fallback. If they want to take a year off and come work with me, I'd love it, That's great. Yeah. That is great.
I feel like so a lot of people try to describe success as, I've been getting a lot of advice as I'm a young adult trying to start my career here. And some people are like, yes, say yes to every opportunity. But something that you do that I think is even better advice is to say yes to opportunities that you connect with and that are meaningful to you. Not just saying yes to everything because you want to advance, because you want that next job, but saying yes to things that you actually think you're going to exceed in. And then it seems like these serendipitous things happen when you're enjoying what you're doing. That's amazing.
Think that's really insightful. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good lessons in today's show. There's and also saying no to the things that you don't feel like.
People don't realize they can say no to things
do that. Yeah.
That don't fit with what they're doing.
Well, see, aren't you glad you came today? I'm so glad you're here because you've learned a lot, and your mother would have just sat over there and interrupted me all the time and asked a bunch of questions. No, she's good too. She's very good. And I appreciate it. I think this is good. This has been great. This is a very inspiring show for a lot of people because there's so many moms out there who have an idea that want to start a business. Sometimes they get discouraged because it's not, this has worked out great, but anything can happen along the way, but you got to keep pushing forward too, which I imagine is what you what you share and say, I could get a box of caramels that just give me that message, keep going and keep trying. And well, that is great. Well, Patty, how do we order Good Caramel? Where do we go to find you?
You go to goodkarmal.com, GOODKARMAL.com. And we have a ton of different gifts and like low price points, high price points. And you can also learn how to customize for weddings.
Great. So, well, thank you so much for joining us today. And we've got a lot to share here before we wrap up. First of all, you met our Zoomer moms here. If you want to be a Zoomer mom, you go to our website, Inside the Moms Club, and sign up. And if you're not interested, if you think, I could never do that, which trust me, you all can. I mean, if I'm sitting here, you could be sitting there as a Zoomer mom. But if you think that's not me, but I have a friend who would be fabulous as a Zoomer mom, then sign your friend up or get your friend to sign up, because the more moms across America that can be part of our show, the happier that we are. This is a club. This is a network of women across the country supporting each other and doing it with a lot of humor. And we just always want to stay positive, which is really the message of today's show. So do that. Please do that. And also join our chapters. We are developing chapters all over the country. We have had 2 fabulous events in my hometown of Dallas, Texas, and they were fun. The women got to come out, meet other moms. The local vendors in the community, this is what was really great, they gave prizes. So we had drawings during the cocktail party. So you could not only come to it and meet other moms, which is fabulous, but you could actually win really cool things. And I got to draw them out. And at one point, I have to confess, yes, I threw my name in there and I wasn't supposed to. Thankfully, I didn't win anything.
Did you win?
I didn't win anything.
It's only a problem.
See, that's probably, but I was tempted because they're really great. Some of the local people, in fact, we have a sponsor, Beverly Hills Lingerie. They were amazing, as we say here on the Moms Club. They made a donation and somebody got to walk away with a great prize from that. So check out in your local town. And if you're interested in being part of a chapter in your community, or you want to start one, just contact us, because we really want to be a network of moms across America. The whole idea behind the Moms Club is women support each other. Women's friendships are very precious and special and different. Then, frankly, a lot of our husbands and a lot of men don't have the same kind of relationships that women do and that moms do. So that's our goal here on the Moms Club, is to help you laugh, have fun, but also to connect with other moms. And that's very rewarding, and that's what we want to see happen. So please check out the chapters. And we also want to thank one of our sponsors that we have because this is the month where we're sharing things with moms everywhere. Farmhouse Fresh has the most amazing products you've ever put on your skin. Have you?
I have tried it.
I thought yes, because that's when I first thought the glow that you had over there, and I thought, oh, Julie, you've gotten so much younger.
Yes.
It's because that wouldn't surprise me, because Farmhouse Fresh has these amazing products. One of my favorites is Make It Melt, because it helps you take your makeup off. It's probably better than anything I've ever had before. And Timescape, which if you're going to buy a gift for a friend, I would highly suggest that. Anyway, it is certainly something you want to check out. Well, we have had an amazing time here today with our guests and with our friends, our Zoomer moms. But we will see you next time. Time has passed so fast, but we'll see you next time with more celebrities and extraordinary moms just like you. We know your me time is precious and valuable. Thank you so much for spending it with us. Our motto here is, if you don't laugh sometimes, moms, you're going to cry. So please keep laughing. And we will see you next time inside the Moms Club.